Hello, welcome to Screen Talk with yours truly, Nomfanelo. So recently, the nominations for the Oscars were announced, and one of the films that was nominated is Sirat. So that movie got two nominations for International Feature Film and Sound. Now, Sirat, if you're not aware, is a Spanish drama slash thriller movie. I haven't seen that movie, but I believe it comes out in theaters around mid February. So, reason why I want to bring this up, so the filmmaker of that movie, Oliver Laxe, has gotten into some controversy. So, if you're not aware, so not long after the nominations for the Oscars were announced, I think it was within the same day, he appeared on a Spanish talk show, I guess, where he was sharing his feelings with the movie being nominated and all that stuff. And then he shared some comments involving Brazil that got a lot of people upset. Now, I initially did a post on Buy Me a Coffee when I saw the clip circulating on online, so I'll leave that link in the description. But I was able to find the full clip because the talk show posted the full interview on YouTube.
¿Tenéis a...?
Hostia, no lo sé, tío. Ah, sí, sí, sí.
A ver, yo creo que lo tengo por aquí.
So, with the question, he was asked essentially what is the competition in his category. And I did enabled the English translations to follow. So, if you are listening to this, it's preferable to watch the video version of this.
Tenemos la peli iraní Un simple accidente de Jafar Panahi.
No la he visto esta.
Ganó la Palma de Oro en Cannes. Está Sentimental Value de Jochen Trier.
La he visto el otro día, es buena también, ¿eh?
Sí.
La película noruega esta.
Sí, sí. Mola, me gusta.
¿La has visto?
Sí, la he visto. Me parece muy sano que haya pelis que hablen de la herida intergeneracional, ¿no? Que le
Sí,
diga...
un padre y una hija, ¿no? Hay con...
Sí, no, y que...
So here he kind of like goes on about the movie Sentimental Value.
Estamos hablando de películas nominadas. Las noruegas son rivales duras.
Sí, y luego está la película brasileña o Agente Segredo, que, claro, es que...
Agente Segredo.
Sí, de Clever.
So here's talking about the secret agent.
Zafillo.
Segredo.
Vale.
Y claro, o sea, es que los brasileños, o sea, hay mogollón en la academia, son mogollón.
So he says here that there's a lot of Brazilians in the Academy, I'm assuming, with the Oscars in terms of their membership. Now, I saw many people comment saying that that's not accurate. I'll just bring up this article here from the Latin Times. They mentioned here that there's 11,000 Academy members, only 15% non-American, and roughly 1% are Brazilian. And apparently Spanish members actually outnumber them, undercutting the idea of Brazilian voting dominance. So what Oliver said about there being a lot of Brazilian Academy members, that's not accurate, at least according to this article. Back to the video.
O sea, les queremos mogollón, pero son ultranacionalistas.
Tienen fuerza, claro.
Now, he says he loves them, but they're ultra nationalists. What does he mean by this? Because a lot of people were upset when he referred to Brazilians as ultra nationalists, which is a weird thing to say. So if you're not familiar what the term is, it says, ultra nationalism is extreme form of nationalism characterized by fanatical loyalty to one's own nation combined with hostility toward other nations or groups. It often involves asserting hegemony or supremacy over others, frequently utilizing violence, authoritarianism, and xenophobic, racist, or discriminatory viewpoints to achieve its goals. And in terms of key characteristics and beliefs, there's a us versus them mentality, authoritarianism and charismatic leadership, political violence and militarism, apologetic ultranationalism, and then there's historical context of this term because it's usually referred to in terms of the Yahtzee Germany during World War One and Two, fascist Italy, and different political groups they mentioned here. Apparently, yeah, there's a global spread. Says scholars and observers noted a rise in reactionary ultranationalist movements globally affecting regions in Europe, North America, and Middle East. And I did note that for you Call of Duty fans, apparently ultranationalists are a revolutionary political party and based in Russia in that game. So, yeah, that's wow. I don't know why he decided to call them that because that's quite extreme to label them that. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, back to the video.
O sea, yo creo que los brasileños presentan un zapato a los Oscars y les votan todos.
Now, what does he mean by this? So he says if a Brazilian submits a shoe, they would vote for it at the or nominate it at the Oscars. What? Like that's insulting. Essentially saying that like if I don't know if they put out something that's let's say of lower quality, they'll just nominate it because for the sake of like it's like what does he mean by this? Like that's terrible. What was he thinking there? Like that's just uncalled for. Now I did note that was some articles saying that he was joking when said this. I mean, I don't buy that myself. It's just a weird thing to joke because he didn't joke when he was talking about the other films in his interview. So why did he have to joke about this? Weird.
Pues no, ahí al zapato, ¿no?
Con lo cual tiene unas opciones extras, ¿no?
Pero es muy buena peli y el tipo es brillante.
¿Cuál más? Falta una.
Just weird that like after saying all that, essentially says, "Oh, Secret Agent is a great film." Ay, 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 ay. Oh boy.
No, son cinco,
Y
creo.
luego, pues está The Voice of Rajab, que estuvieron aquí en el programa.
Ah, la voz de Jim.
Sí, la voz de Jim.
También la he visto, ¿eh?
Sí, sí.
Uf, esa es buena también.
So here he talks about the voice of Hind Rajab, which is the other movie that's nominated for the International Feature Film category.
Bien, ¿eh?
Sí, sí, sí.
Estás haciendo
Es buena y necesaria.
Estaba yo contento, pero es que, a ver, he visto tres de
¿Has
las
visto
cinco.
3 de 5? ¿Pero quién te crees, Pablo Motos? ¿Sabes?
Pero
3 de 5.
3 de 5, sí.
¿Pero quién eres?
Estaba contento porque me alegro mucho de que Sirat esté terminada y creo que luego se lo merece, pero es verdad que estas dos por lo menos son buenas. Tú eres consciente también, ¿eh?
Yo creo que en el arte no hay ganadores y perdedores.
Bueno,
O sea,
un poco.
It's funny. So he says here that I think in art there are no winners and losers. Does he really mean this though? Because he essentially kind of took shots at Brazil with the whole comments on ultranationalists and saying that whole if they nominate a shoe it'll win with that nonsense. So I think I wrote this like in my post that I feel like with those comments it comes across as jealousy. I did see a comment on Reddit where they believe that he was trying to be witty with the comments essentially, but it just did not land. I just think that he should have just, complimented the other films, just say that sub briefly, and then move on to the next question. Then there wouldn't be no issue. But oh my goodness, it's just ridiculous. Though he had to, at least in my opinion, he took shots at the secret agent, because it seems clear that I think Sirat is not going to win. Again, anything can happen. up this point, but I just don't see that happening for that movie at the Oscars. And now, like with these comments, I don't see that happening anytime soon, especially, insulting Brazilians, particularly with the voters in that way. I don't see them any voting for Sirat anytime soon. So I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check out this video. So I saw on Twitter that many people were comparing Oliver to Carla Sofia Gascon. Because if you remember what happened with Emilia Perez, essentially with her essentially insulting almost every minority group out there, I did videos where I covered this. You could check that out essentially. So I guess Carlos Sofia Gascon decided to enter the chat. And here's what she said here. I'm actually very tired of the fabrications of people saying that I said or didn't say something. Stop using me to justify your shady agendas, to gain viewership, or rack up views. Stop putting lies in my mouth and dragging me into absurd controversies. You have never heard a single one of the words they attribute to me to come out of my mouth. And if you're so sure, go ahead and prove it in court. I've always defended the Mexican people. I love Brazil. I love brown skinned people. Really? She had to say that, brown skinned people? It's like, please. Have some discernment and think of yourselves. That's the only thing I can say. Enough of this world of dictators and hate we live in. I love Havanians. Don't compare me. No shoe is more comfortable. Because this is a photo that she shared on Instagram that essentially had the text that I just mentioned. So I wanted to bring up this comic because it was interesting. So as like the clip was floating around of Oliver saying that stuff about Brazilians, this guy here, Pedro Lima, who's a journalist. So apparently he interviewed Oliver, I guess, recently for his movie. And he shared here that when, quote, when I interviewed him, he asked Brazilians to also cheer for Sirat. It was a bit odd, lol. I'm like, that's weird. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, with all this happening, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. I can guarantee that because I've seen many posts where, yeah, Brazilians are also too. People are not Brazilians are not happy about this, but mostly Brazilians are not happy with this. So on the official Instagram account for the film Sarat, I've seen in the comment section, at least as far as I've seen, many people sharing their frustrations over Oliver's comments about Brazilians. I'll just share here. So, I have to hit translate. Duolingo Brazil is a commentator saying, I came here and already knew what was going to find, lol. Let's see. Not that one. Brazil, 56 voting members. Spain, 110 voting members. And then the GIF with the shoe. That's a big shoe. And then the GIF of Wagner Moura with thank you very much. Let's see, what does this one say? Warns the director that when you're giving an interview, you should be informed that you don't bring in wrong information that will lead to a bad situation. The Academy has way more Spanish than Brazilians, so if Brazil wins, it's because they deserved it. When these movies deserve it, he will win too. Respect Brazil. Let's not lose to Pebble. Funny. I don't think he ever got this much attention. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Not even Bayan. Cinderella loses to this movie. Let's see. We didn't lose to a rocket. I mean, you kind of get the gist of what people are saying in the comments. Oh, this one. I came here to say that I prefer a shoe. Yeah, talks about membership as I mentioned, but yeah, you kind of get the gist of what they're sharing in the comments section. Yeah. So before I wrap up this video, I wanted to share this video I found is quite funny, where he kind of like does a take on this situation is quite hilarious.
Cuando nominan a un español al Oscar.
Mira, ¿qué te puedo yo decir? La verdad es que estoy muy contento, para mí es un gran honor y ahora que tengo el foco de todo el mundo sobre mí, quisiera dedicar unas palabras a los brasileños. Que mira, que no me lo toméis a mal, que yo los quiero mogollón, pero sois todos unos hijos de la gran puta.
So that pretty much concludes this talk on Oliver Laxe's comments on Brazilians. Does not look good for him. I do wonder if he's going to say something about this. Who knows? But yeah, it's just not a good look. And essentially, saying those comments about Brazilian voting members in particular is not going to help him to get votes at the end for his movie. But we shall see. So let me know in the comments section what you think about all of this stuff. If you want to support me, you could visit buymeacoffee.com/NomfiMalloy, where you could donate and look at exclusive posts there. Also, too, I do have community tab on my YouTube channel. So if you subscribe, feel free to leave comments there as long as it's under community guidelines. And if you want to follow me on social media, my links are in the description. So I want to say thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to catch you on the next one.